in the Generation Podcast. I am your host, Malak Arif, and today I got a very, very, very special guest, man. You guys may have heard these guys during the blog era. They haven't went nowhere. They still out here putting out great music, very consistent in the game. They work alongside guys such as Stally, Currency, Big Sean, Spitter, and they have their own distinctive style coming straight out of the Midwest. We talking about the one, the only Cool Kids, Sir Mikey Rocks and Chuck English, man. What's going on, fellas?
What up, man? What's going on?
No doubt. Well, look, this episode I also have a special co-host. I got my boy AB, so we about to rock out tonight. Try not to keep these brothers too long. They just put out two phenomenal projects, man, and I want to get into all of that. So, with all that being said, hey, how you fellas been maintaining during this whole pandemic shit that's going on out here?
Oh, I mean, there's a truth, and then there's what we tell people. You know what I mean?
Talk about it.
It's just, I don't know. Just what I meant by that is, certain people have their own ways of seeing how life works.
Gotcha.
I personally, I kind of just keep my head on the swivel. Certain things are outside of my control, and I appreciate the energy it brings. But I'm one of them people that if I can't touch it and it ain't in me, then I can't.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Like,
especially
given the fact that we made this album in probably the most tumultuous time in our existence. If you was born around the time I was, and then we could translate something that felt weird, but also was like, it's bringing humor, it's bringing happiness to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is fucked up if you looked at it like that. Then if you do, if you like history, if you like reading books, we ain't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be some shit in one of them books that was accurate times.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want to be there. So when I think about like where we're at versus the relativity to the other different events that might have happened on Earth, especially within the Black community and within music. And, you think about the time hip-hop started. That shit was not tight. Them niggas was in the Bronx going through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was beyond COVID. And I see things like that. Like, all right, well, what do we have to eat? You know what I'm saying? Like we could figure something out.
Oh, man.
So I think that that being my attitude kind of saved me more or less. But I also don't think that, I think it happened to me at the right time, because if I was like 25, 26 with a BlackBerry only and not exposed to as much information as I am now, I probably would have lost my motherfucking mind. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if me and this nigga would have survived that one. If we was 20, if we was like 23, if we was like 23 and 26, bro, we would not made it through, bro.
No, it would have been over with.
But when you think about it, it's like we did, because right around the time we went off to go make this album in the desert, like we had got a big ass check from SAG off some shit we had did in the movie, right? So it's like we had been so far in our career, we was up a little bit. So when we both called each other like, shit, well, let's get the fuck up out of here and let's go somewhere where we're not experiencing this. I don't think we would have even been around the block enough to know that these were our outlets. And
no doubt. Now, how long ago was this?
2 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, we started making the album probably like summer 2018. Just start collecting certain songs, doing certain shows here and there, but knowing like it's time to hit people with something. Not really like understanding the direction. And the wild part about it, I think I called him around December 2018 and was like, I got the name for the album. It had nothing to do with what the fuck was going on right now. It was like I went on an ayahuasca journey and like just had this moment where it was like, what did the Cool Kids represent? Like if you could say, if you could put anything on y'all tombstone, or your baby shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yeah, we was here before shit got weird for real. Like, they thought we were the weird ones. That's the craziest part. When we stepped on the scene, they was like, oh, this nigga got tight jeans on.
Right.
That is the least of our
craziest.
issues. That's the least of our issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, your man.
Wow.
Yeah.
But hold on. Who came up with the initial concept? And was there like any pushback between you guys? Like, was one of you like, nah, man, I don't know about that?
Look, I'll give you the full spectrum, bro. While this man is on the phone. This nigga legs is just skinny, right? And this ain't no knock, but he said it. He told me, he's like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? Rock, bed sheets for my leg? I got skinny legs. Hey, because he'd have skinny jeans on, but them bitches would be baggy. Him. They just didn't have no, you know what I'm saying? And he had colors to match with shirts that went with shoes and
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was in the scene where it was like we was around a lot of different cultures and people. So it's like you see like some skater or some cool for right now there. You see some skater dude that you know, and he got a pair of like, I never forget it. We going to New Year's Eve to 06 to 07 type shit.
Okay.
Like this white dude I know who was a DJ. He pulled up with a mullet, stonewashed jeans on. He had this crazy ass shirt from some sitcom. And he had the brand new Spizike joints, the white red, the ones you couldn't even get in the store.
Oh, he had
right.
Wow.
Small, but we was seeing how people was playing with their fashion and their influences. And he used to be in high school doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like he came up with a skit for us to rap. Okay. It was just his shit.
Right.
And then would step on the scene and people, with the white tee era or the, you know what I'm saying, the Mesquite or the Gino Green Global. You don't know how goofy that looked to us. I looked at him like his fit makes sense to me. Nigga skinny, his legs is skinny. You came with a 7X Gino Green, bro. With some creative Rex, and you really thought you won. How did you win? You ain't gonna post that picture. We still posting pictures from our
So you see at the end of the day who won the war. Who won the battle, and who won the war.
Sure.
Because
exactly.
it was always some, real double XL magazine following hip hop heads with the Gino Green on, talking about, hey yo, why you man, he got on the tight pants and
hey, look,
he got the fitted and the snapback, so I'm like, man, this what's going on with it? There's a lot of contention back then around the fits.
Speaking openly, there is a moment in time that when I looked around and did a full 360, I was like, that's funny. We did a show where we opened for Pharoah Monch in New York, right? I got like this Adidas 2-piece. It's kind of like got these, you know what I'm saying, pastel primary color accents.
Okay.
I came crazy. Mikey came with a whole new skit, but like, friend, you know what I'm saying? It was like the way he played it. But niggas ain't seen nothing like that. So when we get out on stage, this is when we came out and like introduced ourselves before we play a song. We X that shit right after that show. I was like, just play the song, we'll come out, we'll fuck up that way. We came out, we said what up. Be like, what the fuck do these niggas got on? Is the first thing I heard.
Now hold on, time out. I hate to interrupt. Please don't lose your train of thought. What were you guys known around that time? 06, because I got hip to you guys around 08, 09.
We was like hipster rappers doing like, if the worst write-up about us was, it's like the second coming, the light version of EPMD or Eric B. and Rakim mixed with, you know what I'm saying, Red Hot Chili. They used to be saying all sorts of shit. They'd be like, oh, they rap like Eric B. and Rakim, but they got white kids at their show, so they must be influenced by like so and so and so. Like, people didn't know what to speak on us about because they didn't understand that this is two people that didn't come up with a skit or a costume for the situation they was pushing. Like, this was just us. This is how I dressed. Like, when I wore a trucker, like the difference between when Pharrell wore a trucker hat and when I wore a trucker hat is my uncle drove an 18-wheeler and gave me the hat. And it said "Badass boys drive badass toys." It was a Chevrolet hat. I would wear that shit everywhere. Then it's like, oh, they like the Neptunes. I'm like, okay, bro, I see how this is going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't know how to understand independent thought, or people that might have seen the same thing but wearing it two different ways.
No doubt.
But yeah, so the Pharoah Monch joint is, we rocked the show. We literally converted everybody. When we walked off stage, we did everybody in there. We dapped up like, man, I thought y'all niggas was gonna be whack. That shit. And what everybody in that bitch did, trying to sweat. Like right there with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the funniest part about that whole situation is when we got in the crowd to watch the show. When Pharoah Monch came out, my man had a sleeveless V-neck frilled. Can't even tell you what texture the shit was. Bro had the craziest leather shit I've ever seen with the cowboy Mexican boots like the cartel wears, where the big perked up in the front. Not one nigga said one thing about any of that. They was
that's how I knew it was in the Twilight.
See, that's the thing about you guys. When you have a style like that,
don't.
Hey, when you got a style like that, you better be able to rap your ass off.
Bro, he could, but like you, I'm looking back at it like, hold up. So what is y'all mad at? Like who? Like we all in here fresh. He doing what he doing. But what did you think we was supposed to look like? Because your man's out here is eccentric. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even tell you where to pick it up from. You know what I'm saying? If he kicks somebody with them boots, he gonna kill him. That's the first thing I thought. And I was like, but I thought, I was like, bro, he fresh as hell too. So I'm like, y'all obviously are in the crowd to see something y'all can't do. Like, why shoot us? Why shoot us the sideways? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, just because my man's pants fit his leg, bro, his shit compared to where people that street rappers wear their jeans right now is so much different.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bro,
that's a fact. It's a fact.
Man, the trappingest nigga jeans way tighter than the jeans I used to wear. I couldn't even get in them jeans. I couldn't get in them jeans that they be wearing.
You're not getting 100,000 in them ones.
No, hey Chuck and Mike, do y'all feel like y'all was ahead of y'all time when it comes to the clothing? Because when I first seen like y'all videos when I was in high school, in college, like with Black Megs, y'all was rocking the OGs, you know, like the fives and, you know, like Chuck was saying, the vintage clothing, which is like in style right now. Y'all had the snapbacks, the first cats I really seen that, the champion jerseys and stuff of that nature. And now that's what's popping. But y'all was on that wave like years ago. Like, how do you feel about just that impact that you two made when it comes to the fashion?
It literally is down to, it was just who we were. Like, I remember one of our first shows, I don't even know where this man got this shit from, because the vintage shit was such a sport back then. You had to find it. It wasn't nobody you could buy it off of.
That's true.
We did a show where we flew in separate. I don't know what happened. I think I got my flight early or whatever. We did a show in the Bay, and I'll never forget. Like, I knew I came crazy because I had like this matching Adidas shit I got from this thrift store. But the thrift store was like a rare old sneaker store that just still operated. I don't know if they were selling dope or doing any packs out of there, but they just had shit still. And I thought I had something on.
Wild as shit, man.
I had a Charlotte Hornets pinstripe snapback back when like everybody was still on fitteds. Like literally, if you was a rapper, you got a fitted collab. That's how crazy it is. Yeah. Right? So when we came with the snapback joints, I was like, everything about my outfit was shit that my parents could afford, but would never buy it for me because niggas was getting killed for it.
No, they was.
It's slightly sinister to my style. Yeah. It's like when I got old enough to defend myself and then realize like, oh, this shit is nostalgia. Why is it nostalgia? People wearing starter jackets, they don't understand why starter jackets is important.
Man, I would literally cut my arm off of one of those, man.
All of high school. Made my parents $100,000. They still wouldn't have got me a starter jacket because niggas was getting killed for them.
Getting killed and robbed.
You go to the mall with that jacket on. You go to skating with that jacket on. The same thing, bro. The first week of 5th grade, when Grant Hill came out with them Grant Hills, 5 kids got killed for them bitches.
Hold on. Time out. Hold on, cause Chuck, cause you from Detroit, right?
Yeah.
So what was like? What was the what was the environment like when it came to fashion in Detroit? And I'm gonna ask you the same thing,
think about the Bad Boys Pistons, right?
Yeah.
You think about watching The Last Dance. You think about watching, y'all all watching BMF right now. That's actually the Bad Boys Pistons. That's what that was. That's what Detroit fashion is. Everything I thought was fresh, I could have got killed for. I didn't think nothing. I ain't ever see a pair of Zubas or like some Zach Morris shit and thought that was fresh. I wanted to wear what Chris Cross had on, and unfortunately, as gone off Chris Cross as I was, if I was to ever put that shit on the right way and go to Eastland Mall or Eastland Skating Rink or any sort of basketball game, or you know what I'm saying? You seeing in BMF, they going to the PSL championship. My dad took me to hella PSL championships, but I was dressed like a child. You know what I'm saying? If I had any of the shit I thought I wanted to wear on, I'm fighting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like any kid had a fitted leather. Bro, if you had Jordans when I was in 4th grade, you
was that nigga. You was that nigga.
Yeah, your daddy was selling drugs.
In the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh man.
In the bathroom.
That's true.
Jordans on in 1991.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Jordans was not like
it wasn't.
It wasn't streetwear, bro. That shit was a statement. That shit
I'm a couple of years. I think I'm a couple of years older than you, Chuck.
Huh?
And so I didn't get my first pair of Jordans until like 11th grade.
Bro, I didn't get my pair.
11th grade. I'm telling you, the first pair of Jordans I got was 1997, man. It was the 12s. So I was late. I born in 81.
Mine was the retros, the black and red 11s.
Okay.
I was also like did work there, and it was senior year, and I wanted them in my senior picture, so I did like that. But that was like the retro.
Yeah, exactly.
Came out, hey, bro, when them bitches came out the first time, everybody got their issue. There's no news.
Yes.
There's no news article about how tumultuous that weekend was. When them gray ones came out for the first time, everybody that didn't have a gun on them didn't leave the mall with them. So that's what I'm saying. Our style
it was
like,
dangerous.
Oh yeah, the coast clear. I can put this shit on now. All right, bet. Cause y'all wearing like spikes on y'all shit, and y'all got the Pradas, and you know what I'm saying. Y'all doing dope man, young Dro shit now. Y'all niggas gonna look like T.I. Then cool. I will put my shit back on.
Hey, let me swing it over to Mike. Hey, Mike, I know you from just outside of Chicago.
Yep, Madison.
Yeah, so talk about that. What was it like, as far as like the fashion, man? Because we know of Gary, Indiana, and Everson. What was it like? Like where did you develop this keen fashion sense, man? Because like I said, that's what stands out when I think of Sir Michael Rocks, man. Where did that come from?
Yeah, man. Growing up out here, you wanted to look like the fresh older niggas, man. Like you didn't want to dress like a little kid. Like nowadays, I feel like it's more cool to just dress like how old you are. If you like a 12-year-old, you dress like a 12-year-old and wear 12-year-old type of shit, little Supreme here or whatever. But back when I was a shorty, we wanted to look like the fresh older niggas, man. So they was rocking. By the time I really started to, figure out how to put it together, they was rocking Pelly already, all kind of crazy shit. Yeah, they was rocking hella Pelly already. Yeah. You had Averexes, the Vuccis, all the leathers. Then you got into like the Coogis and the Icebergs and all of that shit, man. So I grew up wanting to always go to places like Tony Sports in the city, but I couldn't never really get there because I couldn't drive, and I gotta see if my mama would drive me to the city because I live in the burbs. So she wasn't really trying to drive me all the way to the city for no clothes like that. So you gotta, take it when you can get it. And that's when, if you like visiting a cousin or something and y'all in the city and you're like, oh, can we stop by Tony Sports? I want to go look see they got some shit. And just being able to peep game like that at such a young age was big, man, because I had a lot of OGs, like a lot of the dudes that, created and started leaders and stuff. I was knowing them when I was like still, fresh in high school. I was going to the city to go to leaders, and nobody knew what that type of shit was in the suburbs, because they're like, damn, what is that? Like, what? How you getting all these Nikes? How you got all these rare shoes? Woo, 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 man. And they not knowing where I'm going to get it, man. So a lot of my style just really came from like, it really came from seeing shit that I wanted and finding out how to go get it, man. I remember Diddy and Black Rob was in the video with the white and black Fendi jackets on.
Damn, you remember that? You was a shorty. Hold up.
That kind of
shorty, man. You remember that shit?
It was crazy.
We was wild.
We
was wild because like me and my guy Shorty K, we was little and we would make bootleg shit. Like he had this thing called a Hanes t-shirt printer, Hanes t-shirt maker on your computer, where you print out like a screen print and you iron it on the shirt. So
kind of froze.
Damn. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Let me
he's back now.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, man, we used to make bootleg Iceberg pretty much, man. So we was looking online and we'd get pictures of like broke ass cartoon characters and shit, and write a little we called the clothing line Dejan. We write a little clothing line and then put some bootleg ass broke ass cartoon characters that look like Disney on there, and then
I had the fake iceberg. You got me going down a real memory lane that I never really touched, because we also used to take during the like, remember the rhinestone era when everything was rhinestones?
Wow.
So
I remember the rhinestone era.
We went to the beauty supply and bought hella do-rags and bandanas, and we had to be like sixth grade. Bought hella bandanas, and then his mom had a hot glue gun, so we went and bought a bunch of rhinestones from the craft store, from Michael's Arts and Crafts store. And then we gluing rhinestones on the bandanas and shit, and then rocking them at the parties, and then we end up start selling those. Everybody in the neighborhood want those now. They're like, man,
y'all been looking like Jagged Edge and shit.
Right, man. Everybody was out there Jagged Edge and it, Chicken Head and Chingy and all that shit, man. But you know, the style always really came from just like, you know, the older niggas I looked up to, man. My sister had a boyfriend at the time that was a real fresh nigga, man. He put me on a lot of shit. She used to work at the Hip Hop Connection clothing store, where it's like all the high end, all the high end hip hop wear of the era is up there, you know, all that type of shit. So I was just kind of raised around it a lot of the time, man. My parents was a little younger than most, so they was still getting fresh too.
You had them fly ass.
My parents was still. They was.
I was hating on y'all, man. I was hating on y'all.
Nah,
my parents was looking like James and Florida Evans. They was still dressing like that.
Yeah, man. I hate to see it, man. No, I had my first pair of Jordans in I have the 10s. I think I was in like third grade.
I
or
was
something.
hating.
That's the first ones I could remember. I probably had some other ones. The first ones I remember was the 10s. And nigga been fresh forever though. Like I won best dressed in my high school. I won best dressed in 8th grade. Like, This wasn't never nothing new. Like that's why it wasn't a gimmick what we was doing. It wasn't something that we was just putting on to like fit into character. Like niggas just been fresh all the time, and it just translated into the music, and you know it proved to be successful.
Hey, Mike and Chuck, I feel like in that era, it was so much variety, so much originality, especially, you know, in the Midwest as well. Because I was born in Flint, Michigan. I was raised in Tennessee, but my siblings is much older than I am. So like, a lot of stuff you was mentioning, like Pelly Pell, even
hold on. I got to mention. Don't forget Maurice Malone.
Man,
Maurice Malone,
Willie Esco, Maurice
Willie
Malone,
Esco, shout out to Willie Esco.
I know about that Maurice Malone. Go ahead.
Keep this. So you seen something that literally got to me and didn't leave my soul since it happened. Is when I realized that MC Breed was only 2 hours away from me.
Yes.
It did. I checked, bro. I knew about Breed. I knew about Dayton family. I was like, oh, this state is crazy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You would go see some shit. Michigan, the only state where you could drive 2 hours north and run into a city full of niggas that's fresher than everything, bro.
That's a fact.
You go to a Pontiac Northern High School game. That shit felt like paid in full. You go to Muskegon something. That shit felt like Lean on Me. You go to anything in Flint. That shit felt like Boys in the Hood. You go to anything in Detroit. That shit felt like New Jack City. It was like it ain't no other state with that many cities. Just black people that moved so different, had their own slang and outdress you.
Outdress you.
Shoot your eyebrows off for nothing, just for a leather coat. It was like Michigan most dangerous, freshest, coolest state ever.
I feel like.
And you think about Illinois, this shit is the same. I ain't even know it. Like you fuck with a, you'll go down, you'll go in the suburbs, you'll get out your car at a gas station and talk to a nigga crazy like, shit, I ain't even from Chicago.
Yeah.
Get your motherfucking head hit.
Man,
Get your motherfucking head hit. I've been to Chicago twice. I know. Man.
Think about Chicago. This tricky is like our suburbs is hood. Like it's not like when you think of suburbs, like our suburbs is ghetto as hell. So it's just like they destroyed all our projects and then they sent all the project niggas to the suburbs.
Exactly, like Cabrini Greens and Cabrini Greens and all that shit. Yeah, they sent them niggas out. So where's Amon Shumper? Where's he from?
Iman, damn, I don't know what part of the city he from. I know he's from Chicago.
He's from the west side.
Part. Yeah, I don't know what part Iman's from.
Just outside. I think he's just outside of Chicago.
I thought he was from the west side. I think he went to high school on the west side.
He definitely give me west side vibes. No, he's a cool nigga, man. I gave him some clothes before. I made some clothes for him and Tiana before. He's super cool. Thorough nigga, man.
So look, I want to move forward a little bit. Now, being that Chuck, you from the D, and Mike, you from just outside Chicago. How did y'all guys come together and become the cool kids? And where did that name even come from? And matter of fact, where did you guys' names come from? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I was still coming out of high school. I'm still actually my junior year of high school, pretty much, and. Me and Chuck had a mutual friend that was also a producer, and he kind of introduced us. He was like, "Man, I think you should holler at English, man. He got some shit I think you'll like. Y'all kind of on a similar wave right now. You might want to hit him up, man. Try to see if y'all could work together or something." I hit him up, and I had been listening to his beats for a couple weeks before that and shit, just getting the feel for the sound and all that. And then we finally started to talk on MySpace. And
MySpace, god damn.
Yeah. Finally started to talk on MySpace, and then we ended up linking up in real life. I went down to his crib, which was in the city, because he was going to the Art Institute in downtown Chicago. I was still in high school in the burbs, so I drove up to his crib in the city. We planned on making beats and just kind of getting some music going and shit. And one thing turned to another. I end up rapping in his crib for about 2 hours straight, freestyling shit. And, he was like, "Damn, I didn't even know you rapped. I thought you just made beats." I was like, "Yeah, I kind of just make beats now. I used to be rapping." But he was like, "No, I think you should rap. Like we should do this. You should rap. I should make the beats." And then that's pretty much how it started out. And then I look up after a couple attempts at us making some songs. He brings a beat and a verse that he rapped to the beat, and he rapped it to me. And I'm like, "Damn, I didn't know you rap. Like you just surprised the shit out of me." And I was like, "That was actually hard. You should rap too. Like we should both rap." And then he was like, "Oh shit, all right, well we should both rap. We should make a group then." And that's pretty much how it came to life right there.
So Chuck, you wasn't rapping before?
Nah, man, I ain't rap shit till I got a sidekick and was bored and just had this note section. But I always was well read and always loved rap so much that in speech class, which I used to get crazy grades in my speech class, oral presentation, any sort of thing of writing or imaginative writing, that was one of the classes I did the best in. Like I wasn't a bad student, but I wasn't a great student. But the one class I got a 99 in for the whole semester was like script writing. So my imagination would be crazy. Then I spent like a couple months literally out the game for a while because I broke my ankle and had to have reconstructive surgery on it and had to rehab it and do all this shit. And like we had met right before I broke my ankle. So I like was like, damn, I had so much on my mind because we had just met, and I was like, damn, all right, I think I got an idea here. Like, I think with the way music was going and the potential for somebody to just break out, and the fact that things were just so mainstream that anybody from the underground could do anything if they were good. Just to give you what's the word? Some sort of context. That's the word. Okay. It's like the Jay-Z and Danger Mouse great album comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, you taking me back. Man.
Like I'm in college, but Little Brother and Mos Def the biggest niggas ever. Don't matter what it is. Like to my school, Jay-Z is cool, but if Little Brother would have pulled up beginning of 06, they could have sold out the United Center.
Same here.
Like at that point in time, Lupe to me was the most Jay-Z-est nigga ever seen. Like he was making people switch their rap styles, dress style. He got GQ best dressed nigga, bro. Like he was on a black man on a skateboard. Like we never seen it. We saw it with Pharrell, but he was like, he was rich, you could get a skateboard.
He was the first dude. I'm not even gonna lie, no offense, but he was the first dude out of Chicago that I really took seriously as a high top tier lyricist. Like I always thought Common was
bro. If there was no Lupe, bro, there was.
Well, Lupe is an alien. There's certain guys that's just dope, and then you got aliens. Royce the 5'9", Lupe, Black Thought. Them niggas are aliens.
Right.
But see, look, the thing about them as lyricists and like us being a generation underneath y'all, we didn't even. Like, there was a part of Lupe shit, we didn't even notice this nigga was rapping. It was just everything he did was what we wanted to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When he'd go on podcasts or little web interviews and he'd get to talking about the streetwear that we living in, that we waiting in line to get.
Agree.
Which never, ever happened. Or he talking about shit off Madison on the west side that we've been to, certain soul food restaurants. You like, bro, so you trying to tell me that you could be from the inner city and be this nigga at the same time. Like they never taught, bro. We just got off 50 Cent. I thought I had to sell crack to rap. It wasn't until Lupe put it in our head, bro. Listen, me and him was so gone off Lupe. Like that's my man's, right? We done play basketball, all that shit together. I know he's athletic, but I ain't seen him be as athletic as when we went to Lupe concert and Mikey jumped on stage. He kind of crashed the stage. He got so hyped.
Oh yeah.
They was doing the song and bro just got on stage. He did a hop and then he did a jump when he got on stage. When Lupe was doing, my man could have dunked on a 12-foot rim that day.
Man, dog.
And I was so hyped for him. I ain't even feel one bit of like Jordan. Bring me up. I was more like, man, we here, bro. We here. This nigga just jumped out the gym. Like, if Lupe say we gonna jump, we jumped. Like that was the first artist where I was like, oh shit, I'm jumping.
Yeah, that's damn near the first concert that I actually made a way to get to and did on my own. Like I didn't been to little concerts as a kid where you go with your older siblings or whatever, or your mom or pops, but that was the first one I went to on my own and got the ticket for and all that shit. I was gone, man. Like, yeah, he had it was a different type of chokehold on that generation, of black kids, man.
He hit us with a trifecta where it was like, the style wasn't a skit. It wasn't like a put on. Like,
right.
We seen him outside. We seen him at St. Alfred's. We seen him at Sneaker Pimps. We seen what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? When the Kick Push video debuted on 106 and Park, that's around the corner from my crib. This got people I see every day in the video. And this is Jay-Z executive produced. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, we got it.
Fucked you up.
No, I didn't. I just was like, okay, we got a chance because this door ain't too far from the door we got. Before that, it was like, all right, does he got to talk about some street shit because he got some cousins that can back him up? Do I got to make some, you know what I'm saying, hood hop ass beats? Like, do we got to be like a street group? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm saying, but what were you guys rapping like prior to that? What was the sound?
We literally met off the loop. Like, we met, and then when our first raps were coming out, we had that same type of psychology.
Right.
He was writing crazy metaphors with pauses in between. Like, I was trying to do my best version of like a hybrid between like the best Neptune beats and the best Timberland beats and the best J Dilla beats. You know, this is right off, just to get into full context, bro, this is right after Champion Sound dropped. So I'm thinking about how duos work. Like, I just listened to a Madlib J Dilla album where they rapped on each other's beats and switched every song, nigga. I was gone. I paid too much attention. I was a fucking super fan. I ain't never go get no haircut without 3 magazines in my hand. Whether it was a Scratch, whether it was the Source, where it was like, you know what I'm saying? When people think about why we are the way we are, like, I was a fan. You know what I mean? Like, I was a fan and happy about it and had enough material to not even complain. I didn't say, oh yeah, music's whack. Bro, I had everything I wanted. I remember listening to high-tech CD first week I got to college. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I got this? You know what I'm saying? Turn around, get an NERD CD. Turn around, get, you know what I'm saying? All the shit that we was digesting at that point. It was starting to change, and it let me know that my musical, the things I dreamed about musically, like there was a potential.
No doubt.
Because when 8 Mile came out and Paid Full soundtrack came out, then 50 Cent came out, I was like, oh yeah, I need to stick to my books. I ain't gonna never.
I've heard that from a lot of rappers, man. Like, from what I hear, listening to a lot of rappers that were around that time, they said it was Kanye. They said Kanye was one of the guys that inspired them to feel like they don't have to be this street guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Kanye started it. It was like Kanye, then it was Lupe.
Yeah,
then it was us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a fluid. If it was a fluid, like, hand over the crowd type of shit, where it was like we changed young black kids' perspective.
But I would say y'all come from the Kanye tree, because y'all got,
that's what
as much as I love Lupe. As much as I love Lupe don't, y'all have swagger. Y'all always had the style, the flavor, a flair. Lupe, as much as I love him, he wasn't really on the fashion shit like y'all.
No, he was
when he started.
He was.
Lupe. Well, I will say this:
crazy.
Lupe was one of the first cats that I seen talking about Japanese brands, like
Goyard. Going off of.
I did even Pharrell. Like, I love Pharrell, but Lupe was one of the first ones that connected with me when it comes to Japanese brands. He was talking about like on Gold Watch.
I remember having the vapes and all that shit, but I'm saying, like, the whole. I get, you know what I'm looking at it? No, I'm not CC. You guys are just talking about, like, as far as like the fashion and stuff. I'm talking about the flair. I think, like, and the brashness that Kanye had. I feel like y'all kind of come under that more than, because Lupe, you know, some people would say he could be a little preachy at times. And I don't feel like you guys were ever like that. Now, it's not a knock to me. I don't have no problem. I like all different types of hip hop, but the Cool Kids music is fun.
Oh yeah, musically we got our own. Musically, we definitely on our own path with that. I think musically, when we started out, we it wasn't shit else to really compare that to be honest, because, like, it's taking elements of older shit, but we were still very, very, very unique kids that was putting a different spin on it too musically. Like, his beats. You couldn't really call them like Pharrell beats. They didn't really sound all the way like that, and they really didn't sound all the way like a Timberland. They didn't sound like a Dilla all the way like that. Like, you know how some producers are really good at just, like, imitating the sound perfectly, and there's multiples of a great sound. Like, there is a Metro Boomin, and you got a Weezy Out of Here, and you got a motherfucking Lex Luger. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all have the same sound, but, you know, they're able to continue to you know, each make their mark with that sound. With our sound, like, it wasn't we didn't really give no room for you know, us to be compared a lot like that.
Imitated.
It was hard to, like, put a finger on, like, oh, okay, this is who they sound exactly like. Like, you know how you can go find a rapper and be like, oh, you sound exactly like this motherfucker.
It's still like that now.
You sound exactly like that motherfucker.
Exactly.
Your beats sound exactly like this motherfucker. You couldn't really do that with us. So everybody used to have to figure out what they wanted to anchor us with. They was like, man, okay, we can't really say they sound like this person. So what do they look like? All right, maybe they look like this. And then it was like, oh, you hipsters, they look like a hipster. Okay, so they're rapping and they hipsters, so it's a hipster rap. And then that's how that whole thing started back in like the early 2007s and 8s when all the rap magazines was trying to figure out what to call new rappers. They couldn't figure it out yet because it wasn't really a name for it. And that's really how it all started.
Go ahead. Hey, AB, I'm gonna let you go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, like, how do you all keep that originality? Because at that time, it was carbon copies going around. You know, it was a different time in the game, right? 50 Cent was popping, you know. But how you was able to stay original and creative? Because it's easy to follow the norm. You know, how y'all was able to stay out of that box and create your own space in the music industry?
Wild. You know what's wild? In my head,
that's a good question.
It makes it's harder. It's hard to follow the norm. It's like you have to keep up. Like once you put yourself on that track, originality is freedom. And if you start that way and you prove to people that your originality is worth collecting, because that like keeps that whole everything is inclusive shit like at bay. It's not. It's exclusive. People are better than you at shit.
Hell yeah.
I am better than people at what the fuck I do. I'm not going to even let you think that shit, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'll stand on business. Literally, I find too many niggas. You can't find too many niggas better than me at what I do. And
that's a fact.
I'm selling that to people outside of this social circle. I'm like, oh yeah, why should you listen to Chuck English? Yeah, because I live, you know what I'm saying? So what I say on the record, the little cheeky ass metaphors I got and all that, I told you that because I thought that in my head while I was in the middle of it. I could actually give you some game. When I hear beats in my head, it takes me back to being that little kid sitting in my uncle's Jeep listening to Ain't No Future in Your Frontin' for the first time. You was not outside for that. You didn't get to see that, but I can give it to you. I can share it with you. Like I went to school across the street from where Prince Fielder went to school, and Cecil Fielder picked Prince Fielder up listening to nothing but a G thing in a 64 Impala.
Yo, that's legendary, Prince.
I literally, when my mama picked me up, I damn near wanted to just leave me. I just wanted to like, just leave me, bro. Like
I used to have a fake Cecil Fielder jersey back in the day.
Oh man,
fake one.
Knock off joint.
No, I mean I agree with that. Chuck.
So like just to finish so to keep the originality is like nothing can take away from me the memories and input I got from the things I was fans of. Like I caught hip hop's golden era. I'm not gonna let it go. I don't have to, but I'm gonna do it my way.
That's real.
Like,
that's real.
If it's a dope beat, like for example, in my head, when I hear a dope beat, I'll be like, the first thing I think is like, damn, what if the drums was in reverse? Like I don't let things just stay still. I'm just like, it ain't weird enough for me. Like it didn't make me feel like I'll never have that experience again. Like the first time I ever heard Planet Rock was at the skate rink holding a girl's hand. Like the first time ever holding a girl's hand was to Planet Rock, nigga, at the most ghettoest skate rink ever. It was like you couldn't take that away from me. I felt it. I understood what people why people responded to the shit like that. So when me and him, we saw being a young black kid in like a slightly ghetto middle class area, but we didn't know it. We saw life the same before we even met. But now we just telling the pictures we seen. Our parents say the same shit. Before we got on this, we was talking about how our daddies be on the phone saying the same shit, and everybody with a black daddy they heard the same shit, bro. They with you for 45 minutes talking about nothing. Trying to tell you how they about to fix something or how they save some money in some other area. Every nigga over 50 does the same shit, bro.
My dad had me on the phone for an hour on Tuesday because he couldn't figure out how to remove his license plate from the toll road situation out here in Illinois. And he's like, man, I got the iPass now, so I got the electronic tolls, but now I got to take my car off the website thing, because he was scared they're gonna charge him twice. He's scared I'm like, Dad, they're not gonna charge you twice if you got the iPass. You don't got to worry about that. It's gonna be fine. And I, no, I think they're gonna charge me twice, so I don't want to get charged. I'm like, it's gonna be 40 cents, and then once you figure that out, you can call them up and tell them that was a mistake, real. And they're gonna give it back, and they're gonna cancel everything, and you're gonna be okay. Yeah. I'm like, you don't even want to take that 40-cent risk, huh? He like, no, I just want to get it erased.
That's how them old school brothers be.
Hey man.
My dad outside right now. He'll literally send this bitch up over a $15 extra surcharge. That he looked at this white lady. We on vacation. He looked at this white lady by the pool bar. Told her, damn, $17 for some wine.
Oh
damn. He wasn't trying to do it.
Oh man.
But yeah, I say that to say this. Me and him seen the same thing, and when we realized we did, our ability to tell a story it never runs out of material. Because our uncles did the same shit. But y'all uncles did the same shit. Even if your uncle was smoked out, he said the same shit at one point. It's like black people's experience in this country is very similar, and we way more united and we way more together than we ever think. And while everybody is, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of division, it's a lot of separatist shit. We can just be silent and just tell you the story you heard, bro. Like, you know you like this. You know you like this. You know you like what this song was. Yeah. You know that when this song come on, it reminds you of barbecue smoke. Like, come on, man. And if I'm gonna go down for representing something, I'm gonna be that like silent understanding that we all know.
No doubt.
So that's where our originality comes from. Because when we wake up, it's still some black shit that ain't been on TV or been on a record that everybody forgetting. Or you forgetting that sound. Or you forgetting how that goes. Or this joke that you ain't heard in a while, you heard it on the record, and we said it. They hit us with that one. Like that's where it's originality, but it exists within parameters. Like, I always wanted to make black people look cool. That's it. But I wasn't gonna stand on no soapbox and be like, "Hey, we cool. You see all this cool shit we going?" Because anytime you do that, you open yourself up for a comment section. We just gonna do that shit. When you see us, it's like, man, we had white kids dressing like us, and they didn't even feel alienated. You know what I mean? The parents didn't even know what the fuck was going on. Your son was on rollerblades one day. Next day, he in the house with a Nautica jacket on. You're not even offended. You like, oh yeah, my son
with some black mags, with the black mags joints. You know what I'm saying? On a bike, you know. But no, man, I really feel like, you know, during that time frame, y'all made it real cool, man. Like you said, like to be yourself, and not only to be yourself, but correct me if I'm wrong, y'all never signed to a major label deal. Like I always, you know, used to look, this back when you have CDs, you look at the credits, you look at the label, and you was always independent. Now we got so many artists talking about being independent, but at that time, every artist was trying to get a major label deal, because a major label deal was like going to a professional league, but you kept it original. You had your freedom, like Chuck said, y'all was independent. What made y'all want to stay independent during a time frame where it wasn't like how it is now?
That time period, so looking back as an adult now who actually been through the shit and, you know, was a part of it for real, we were trying to protect ourselves from all the horror stories that we had heard, you know, coming up before then, because we was like, all right, we got a cool idea here. This got wings to it. Like, we could actually like take off with this shit. Like, what do we do though? Like, how do we not get caught up in the bear trap and, you know, shoot ourselves in the foot too early? And the first thing was always like, all right, gotta watch out for the major labels, because they in here to take your deal, and then they want to change your sound and put you in the studio with, you know, producer X, Y, and Z that don't vibe with you, and then they want to
they gonna hit you with the making in the band type joint.
Yeah, then they want to get it. Then they want to get a Jamaican nigga to sing on your hook for a little reggae vibe or something like that. Damn, this shit.
During that time frame, they was getting a lot of reggae cats that seen the hooks though.
That shit was that, man. The mid 2000s was funky, man.
Hey, we ain't even seen We have not seen Elephant Man, bro. Where they broke up.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
But go ahead, finish up, Mikey. Finish up.
Yeah, man, but yeah, you know, they want to put you in the room with artists that you ain't never met or heard about, and you don't like personally, or they don't like you, and it just was a horror story that we didn't want to encounter. So we was like, all right, let's try to find a way to do this without having to get into that lane. And around that time, indie labels was a real cool big thing to do for people outside of rap, like bands and indie singers and all these punk bands and all that stuff. They were all being really successful in this indie record label world that was existing back then. So we was like, oh shit, man, maybe we should go that way and try to get trying to get involved in that world of labels. Which we did. And we was like, all right, we're going to lean over there when it comes to what we do with the business-wise. And it had nothing to do with the art, but just business-wise, we want to go do shit away from, major label rap. It wasn't the move for us, especially with the way we looked and bringing forth a new idea. Old black people who own the record label going to tell your ass, like, hey, man, you need to take this shit off, put this on. We're going to put you in the studio with so-and-so, and we're going to make you a street single. You need a club single. And then you need to sing for the girls.
Shit is really like that, huh?
Damn.
Especially back then. I don't think it is now anymore. I think that the labels now, they completely flipped it where they like, we not doing fucking anything. You do every single part of this and we'll give you the money for it and you pay us back and that's it. But labels nowadays, these major labels, A&Rs and shit, they don't do shit. They probably find you a couple beats here and there or, make a call to somebody manager if you want to get a feature, but major labels flipped it now. They don't do anything now. They like, we not putting in no creative work. We got the money. We'll give you we'll put the money up, but your ass going and doing the TikToks and the Twitter, you better go viral and get your numbers up and shit, because we ain't doing that for you.
Yeah, they wait till you get hot now.
Yeah, you got to do all that shit now. You know what I mean?
7-Eleven, they got to pull the hot dog off the rolling tray.
Yeah, they not discovering artists and they don't discover you. Ain't no showcase.
What do you call it?
Demo tapes and shit.
Like development. What do you call it?
Artist and repertoire.
Artist development.
Yeah, artist development. None of that shit.
Hey, bro, that's like a Palm Pilot.
You better develop your own ass if you want to get this deal. That's what they said. You better develop your shit before you get here.
Remember Palm Pilots?
Oh yeah, you taking it back? Yeah.
Them shits came and went.
Like, it's like it's cool. It used to happen. Them bitches was functional, but like
it ain't happening no more.
No more.
That's why a lot of these artists out here looking crazy, man. I hear a lot of people complain about different artists going on DJ Vlad and I'm like, man, now you see with artist development, how important it was when you have guys that's out there running their goddamn mouth. They on social media talking crazy.
Everybody tweaks.
You bring that up, and it's crazy because we did Vlad one time. And when I was in there, shout out to that man. I never have nothing bad to say about nobody. But like when you walk in that studio, like nigga, it feel like, hey, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying?
Room.
Bro, not even there.
No, he definitely not even in the
nigga's not even
the city.
Seen, dog. Like he on a laptop in another room, asking you questions in a studio with a drum set.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. That shit on YouTube?
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That shit's still on YouTube.
Every Vlad interview, it's a drum set behind a nigga and ain't no sticks.
Yep.
I gotta see that. I gotta check that out.
It ain't shit.
Yeah, that shit wild.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's wild.
Y'all did that interview together?
Yeah, but we did it. We were doing it, and I think the drama was because we had took a break. So when we got back together, we did a press run. It was like, you want to do Vlad? At that time, in 2017, Vlad was immersive. It was like he was asking a couple questions, but it didn't seem like bro was the feds then. Now it's just like all y'all niggas are feds. Like,
yeah, it changed. It changed so much.
It definitely changed.
Not one. Never seen a Vlad question pertain to the music or how the music.
I'm like, yo, why is you asking what this motherfucker did back in 2002, man?
I forgot somebody. He had just talked to somebody, or he said something. I don't know if it was T Grizz, or he had said he had brought up a charge a nigga had when he was 13.
Why we want to talk about that?
What does that have to do with the beat? What does that got to do with the beat, bro? What does that have to do with the beat?
I remember he asked Pee Wee Longway. He said, so you and the boys, you guys still out there hustling? You and the boys, you guys still hustling like you were? You still
no,
on the
he
streets
said
hustling?
something about his shirt being blue. He said, nah, it's just a blue shirt.
Yeah, he was like, you know, boy still hustling. That nigga Pee Wee Longway, he was like, no, man, I was a school guy, man. I wasn't hustling.
I was a school dude.
I was a school guy, man. I went got straight A's, baby.
I just thought about something, Chuck and Mike. Was that the inspiration, like just DJ or just interviews in general like that? Was that the inspiration for Ski Mask, the Ski Mask interview off the new album?
The Ski Mask joint is funny.
The Ski Mask.
Hey, you beat me to that one. You beat me to that one. I was going to ask you about that. Go ahead. That's a good one.
I just thought about that, man. Like that's what it remind me from. Like
exactly. That's where it all.
It was an abstract way of us telling y'all.
That shit is funny as fuck.
It really is.
That shit
so real.
Who's that? Who is that? Whose voice is that?
Oh, that was all me. That was all
That's
you. Yeah. I be fucking around.
Hey,
man, y'all skits is crazy, man.
Hey, that's Donnell too.
Right, I be fucking around.
You did Donnell?
Oh yeah,
that's Donnell.
I was Donnell too.
Hey, Donnell, hilarious.
List of the credits.
For real, man.
I love y'all concerts. I want to go back a little bit though. I want to talk about what led up to. We mentioned we talked about the MySpace era. Like, what was it like leading up to like the the Bake Sale project, man, and like the Gone Fishing? What was it like, man? And what led to those releasing those two critically acclaimed projects?
Man, the Bake Sale was a funny experience because like me and him, we had already compiled a bunch of songs from just making shit in the early Cool Kids days. We compiled a bunch of songs and we was doing shows. The shows was turned. People was calling for us to perform all over the city and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was starting to move around, and we had just a catalog of tracks that we already had made too, and we was like kind of starting to pop off a little bit. So it was time to put together a proper disc, put together a proper. We didn't want to do album, quote unquote, so we made it EP, which was a new concept back then. Because
I love
people wasn't really doing EPs around that time because it was all about the mixtape or the album. But we was like, man, what's in between a mixtape and an album? It's like it ain't quite an album because we gonna sit down and make an album. Like we ain't gonna just use these songs we already made for an album. And this shit better than a mixtape. So like, all right, maybe this the EP right here. And then we came up with that and ended up just grabbing the hottest ones that we had, on our MySpace pages, because people had already had a lot of those songs on their MySpace and like blowing them up. That's how we started doing shows and getting popular, So we compiled the best ones we had on there, the best ones we had out of our collection of MySpace songs and all of that. And it was time to slap the actual EP together. And I'll never forget, like when it came out, I was already like so used to all the like songs and stuff that it didn't hit me until people started coming up to me. It was like, yo, I heard your album, because I was like, in my head I had already heard all these songs for the past like year or so, so it wasn't like new or crazy to me like that until the album until the EP came out, and then people in the real world started to be like, yo, that shit crazy. And then like publications started to pick up, and all the press starts to pick up.
Two Dope Boys and all that.
That's when I discovered how like press works, and you got to have like a fucking actual album for them to.
Broke up again. Hold on. I had to do a lot of editing this one. Christ.
Damn, I don't know why my shit keep freezing.
Mikey.
I'm in front of the great Wi-Fi too. I don't know why my shit tweaking.
And it's crazy because I got no Wi-Fi.
I'm at the house. I'm in my house.
I got Hilton General free Wi-Fi.
Jesus Christ,
that's
man.
crazy.
But go ahead,
finish keep freezing. But yeah, man.
Go ahead.
I think that that's the first time that I figured out how like the game kind of works. Like people don't respect it until it's an album. People don't respect it until it's an official thing that comes out. Then that's when the press comes. That's when people want to interview and book you for shows and shit and all that good stuff, man. But before that, there was just mixtape songs on MySpace and people was rocking to them. But the real impact came after we really officially released the Bake Sale EP,
No doubt. No, because then you guys follow that up with the Gone Fishing. And that's when I got hip to you guys. I heard Gone Fishing.
Another classic.
That was a classic.
Yes.
Very critically acclaimed. Man. And then I went back to Bake Sale. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little bit, I was a couple of years later. I didn't get hip to y'all, like I said, around 2010. 2009, 2010. So around that time, man, you guys are working with like, some of the up and coming guys like Spitter, Stally, Big Sean, your cousin Chuck, Bodie James. Like, talk about that, man. Like, one thing I love about you guys used to always collaborate with those guys, man. Talk about what was those experiences like?
I think it was.
King Chip too. King Chip. Can't forget about King Chip.
We just looking around and we seeing who's in our rooms or who's in our studio or who we kicking it with or who we calling when we get into town and getting weed from, and they shit is cold and we stand on business about ours. So it's like they get in the room, we like, oh yeah, this one for you, this one for you. It's crazy too because those people you speak of, they became genuine friendships. You know what I mean? Like, no matter where me and Spitter are, we know how close of friends we are, and it's almost like I think we trolling people because we haven't made our album yet. But it's like people don't get that we waiting for this moment and it ain't happened yet, right? And we said like, well, we do some shit, it gotta feel like this,
right?
Not just feel like something, but we're watering the seeds in this shit so different, like where it's like we'll get to it when we get to it. You know what I mean? Like,
they say timing is everything.
Yeah, but it's like the same thing with Stolly. It's like, bro, I done went back with Stolly since. Right, I met Stolly shopping at A-Life. You know what I'm saying? In the day. You know what I mean? Like, to the point where he like damn near running A-Life and they open up a store across the street and he like, bro, I got a tape coming out tomorrow. I was like, what? Then listen to that bitch like, damn, nigga, this shit is different.
Was it Lincoln Heights?
I don't even remember.
No, I think it was before that.
It was before Lincoln Heights?
Yeah, it was before that.
Bro, I didn't know Stolly for like almost close to 13 to 15 years.
Okay.
No, it was before the Lincoln one.
Yeah. I think it was the one he was rapping over Mad Lib instrumentals and stuff, I believe. Was it that joint?
Bro, and we did a joint with him when Dame Dash had the art gallery that we was all posting at. Like, that was a whole moment. And it's crazy, too, because Cootie and Cheeky got whatever footage we all was in there doing, he got it.
Yeah.
All that shit. Yeah, Wiz was through there. Mos Def was through there.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Bun to come through there. Like, Dame had a compound going on for a while. That shit was...
he had the DD12 label.
DD 172. Was it 112 or 172?
Ah, because it was 172.
Yeah.
Address.
No, that was a magical time that I don't know if we ever gonna see again, bro. Like, that shit was
I swear
crazy.
I missed that era.
Ski Beats as well.
Ski was in prison in there, boy. Ski was in a cell 24 hours a day making heat. Like, any time of the day.
But he liked that shit. He wasn't trapped in there.
Ski put himself in there. Like, any time of the day, you walk into DD 172 and you on the, like, it's a list of motherfuckers that Dame liked and that you could come by and just record and do whatever the fuck all day, any day, anytime. Yeah. And if you was one of them people, you go in there any time of the day, Ski making some heat. You could just, hey, Ski, what up? Yeah. Let's cook something. And he like, yeah, come on, let's do it. It was just a magical. Then Mos Def would come in. Then Mos Def would be like, what y'all doing? And then walk in. And then Currency would come in and be like, what y'all doing? And this is like, you can't get that kind of vibe no more. Like in a collection of rappers. I could not see a lot of these niggas being able to like let down the egos enough to like be able to just like walk into or feel confident enough in your ability to walk into another nigga session and without your cheat sheet on you and all your extra accoutrements on you and be able to like deliver a fire ass rap on the spot that day. Like, a lot of niggas got to go home and get with their writer and like do it in secret and then come back to the studio in a week after they got it all prepared. Over there, it was like, nah, you walk in off the New York streets and
so that's how these collaborations came together. Because
we was just walking in and out of the studio, bro. Like, everybody was just friends, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, and it's like the thing with Bodie. Bodie's the reason why I rap, because that's my older cousin. That's your cousin.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'll never forget. I'm like in 11th grade, and between like 8th, 9th, and 11th grade, he got sent down south because, you know what I'm saying, the shit he be rapping about was real. So when we was younger, he had did some shit, and his parents didn't send him down to Mississippi with his grandmama and the rest of his people to see if he could, get his order together. But he's such a sharp nigga that it was quick. So he was back by the time I was in 11th grade.
Okay.
And then we had a moment because now I'm grown. I ain't the little cousin trying to run behind him. Like, I'm a football player. You know what I'm saying? I'm at this school where the sports is good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got my own little roster of shorties. Like, so he came to kick it with me one weekend. I'll never forget this. He came and kicked it with me the weekend I got my car for the first time. And we just mobbed. Like, this is before I'm even smoking weed like that. So it's like, it's a different type of time with us. We going to the court, we playing basketball, we getting snacks, all this shit.
Right.
And then I'll never forget, my daddy had got me this beat making program. It was like this acid hip hop pro, where it's like I had a whole bunch of rap loops in it, and I could build my own beats. Because my dad knew that this was what I wanted to do. I never forget putting together a little beat, and Cuz opened up this thing with like a whole bunch of paper of raps he wrote while he was in like juvie or whatever whatever situation he had going before he came back, and started rapping to it. And my eyes, my whole brain melted, because I was like, the best rapper I ever heard in the world.
Did he have the flow that he had now?
Huh?
Did he have that distinctive flow that he had now?
It was crazier then. Like, he'd hate me for saying this, but as good as he is now, he a shell of himself. And when he was
way. Wow.
That's like, no way. Bro, when he was fresh
bro,
he didn't think it was gonna work.
I don't believe it, man. That's one of those guys, man. That is super consistent.
Back when we was making a bake sale, remember I met him for the first time, and he was in from out of town for a little bit. He was recording what the fuck song was that? When I Unloaded, Gotta Hold It Like a Banjo.
That ain't
what song was that one?
I can hear him saying it. Saying it.
Then the nigga just that first time I seen him, he was on the mic, and I'm like, oh God, I'm like, this your cousin, nigga? This shit crazy. What's going on? Yeah. And then he disappeared. He disappeared, and then I didn't see him for like 3 years.
Yo, I'm not
came back, and then
y'all
he started
worry about me.
Cooking
I'm not
up
about
again.
to DJ Vlad y'all niggas on this shit. Like we Bodie done. If you want to know what the nigga was doing, listen to the music. There we go. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I mean, there ain't nothing to get it's like, if you fighting cases and you doing the shit that it's just, that shit was happening. That's from my real cousin. I was really there.
Hey.
And like, I got him to do this. This ain't something he dreamed of. This is him that, hey, if you do this the right way, won't nobody be better than you. Even us. Like, I don't got it. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, I ain't going there with him, man.
Especially if he felt competition. And I know y'all hear with a Bodie rap song, like when somebody that can rap is on the rap with him, like, yeah, he going all the way there and like literally finger rolling. But it's like, my cousin was also really good at basketball. So watching this duality of like, you know what I'm saying?
He's
like,
tall. Is he what, like 6'4" some shit?
When you think about it, bro, I'm about to tell. This is the first time I ever told this. The coach of the Pelicans, Willie Green, and Bodie went to high school together, and they played basketball together. And Willie Green, as good as he was, Willie Green jump out the gym, dunk on it, like dunk, bro. Willie Green will tell you, my cousin was actually an issue on that basketball court too.
Trife. Wow.
He realized, like,
dead ass. That's crazy.
That ain't gonna get him where he wanted to get that day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even his little cousin, my cousin Puna, my cousin Bodie was so good that everybody within his vicinity, as far as cousins, even my little brother, was just better at basketball just because he was better. He was that good. My cousin Puna was a defensive player of the year, 2 years in a row. And he 4 or 5 inches shorter than Cuz.
How tall is Bodie though? How tall is that nigga?
Bodie. About 6'2", 6'3".
That nigga's like my height. I'm 6'1".
But his arms long, bro, and he got a.
Yeah, you can't forget.
He looks super tall. Yeah, he look really tall.
Can't forget.
Like I think him and Willie Green the same height.
Okay.
So that was like they went to the same high school, but you know Willie stuck to his books and ended up dunking on everybody.
I want to talk about 2011. 2011, you guys dropped When Fish Ride Bicycles, and on that project, you work with my favorite rapper of all time, Ghostface Killer. Don't at me anybody. That's my favorite rapper of all time. And you also work with Pharrell. So how did that collaboration come together? And were you guys still independent around that time?
Yeah, we did that deal. We did that deal with that was us being smart, because Gone Fishing, When Fish Ride Bicycles, Tackle Box, all that shit was one album. So I always think about like, man, what if we could have hit him with that? But we couldn't. We was stuck in our little bullshit. So we found ways to dump the records off the album that, if y'all thought we was good off the bake sale, which is the joints we made when we first met and didn't even care about the shit. We just experimented. All right, now watch what we do if we do an album. And we had this dream, we had this thought, but
that album a classic. I couldn't hold that in. That's a fucking classic, man.
I appreciate that. But it was like, imagine if Gone Fishing and that album and the Tackle Box was all the same album.
Holy shit.
That would
have
been
crazy. They were the same album. We didn't make nothing different. We just started taking the records we made for the one album and be like, well, damn, all right, well, let's just make these as a mixtape. And like, all right, damn, let's just make these as a mixtape. And then just when Mountain Dew came with us and was like, let's do a single, we was like, actually, can you take 11 more of these bitches and make an album out of it so we can at least get something off? So that was that's not exactly how we wanted it to go, but we glad people digested it as such. You know what I'm saying? Like,
very, very critically acclaimed, man. What was it like? Like I said, what was it like, working with Ghostface? And I know Pharrell, he produced maybe about 4 or 5 tracks on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man, it was ill, man, because especially with Pharrell, because we went down there to work with him in the studio actually in Miami, and it was an interesting experience because obviously Chuck is a producer too, Pharrell a producer too, so it's like, what do we get from Pharrell that we take of our own, and what do we give to this as well? Because it's like it's not the same situation as like just a rapper going to Pharrell to get a beat. Like, we very kind of self-sufficient at the same time. We meeting up with Pharrell, and then we coming up with a game plan. Like, all right, what kind of joint do we want from Pharrell? Like, we both are big Pharrell heads, so we was like, let's come up with like our top 3 favorite Pharrell joints that we would want to get something inspired by, for our own shit. So we sat there and just really chewed the fat and really figured out like what kind of sound we wanted from dude, and ended up getting in there with him and just talking to him about it, telling him who he was, man. Like, what you did to everybody, I'm sure but like, you fucked the game up, bro. Like, you changed the world, so we go in there talking to him and then start cooking up them joints, and he trying to get a feel for us at the same time, man. And I like the way that he works because like he comes with an idea already. He doesn't just come to the studio and like, all right, what y'all want to do? He's like, oh no, I've been studying y'all and thinking of some stuff. Let me see what y'all think about these couple things. And it kind of sparked everything from there, man. And yeah, we was able to pretty much come up with the those 2 records that we did with him right off bat. It was just fire to get in the studio, actually work with him and see that also that he was who he really said he was. Like he was the real deal. Like he's exactly how you see him on his interviews and in documentaries and all that shit, man. So it was crazy to be able to really see it live and in person like that, man. And at that time, he had kind of chilled off of like the hard, quote unquote, like the harder shit.
Yeah, he was kind of leaning towards like the poppy.
It's like more pop. It was more pop. It was more like kind of just more pop leaning stuff around that time, because he was getting big Gloria Estefan bags. He was
Robin Thicke and tracks and shit.
He getting all type of bags that ain't just.
And you can't hate on that though, because that bag is ridiculous.
No, there's no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying hate. I'm just
no. I just want the audience to know, like, a lot of times when they see artists go from, they working with the clips, and next thing you know, they doing something for some damn Pixar movie, but y'all don't know that damn bag. That shit go,
So we talking to him, and then we just like, man, like, what we came here for, man. Like, let's get some Neptunes. Let's get some Neptunes classic sounds, man. Let's get some grinding. Let's get some Doorman. Let's get some hot damn. Like, let's hear them sounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we came here for. And then he was like, yeah, I got y'all. That's what y'all do, man. That's what y'all do right now. Y'all got that, man. So let's put together something on a like a middle ground level of that. And then we was kind of first upset a little bit, like, oh damn, man, like we want that fucking grinding, man. Like, I want to grind it, man. Like, give me a grinding beat. You know what I'm saying? And then we ended up coming up with some more like kind of like drop top summer jams type joints that kind of were hard too, but also had some appeal to them. So it kind of met in the middle in a best of both worlds type situation. And we ended up meeting our friend Maxine, who used to be signed to Pharrell throughout that whole recording session. And, you know, that's still one of our good friends now. She dope as fuck, about to release her next album and stuff. So it all kind of like, it started a bunch of shit, you know, lo and behold. So every time it's okay to not get what exactly you want sometimes, because I think it'll lead you into something greater, you know. So working in that capacity with him it was crazy. It's just a great learning experience to see, like, all right, this is how it is, you know, working with, you know, a producer that's a real fucking producer as well, that knows how to create the song from scratch. Like, he was in there playing the shit live from scratch, every key. We talking about who to get on the hooks and all of that. So it was like a fully produced experience that, you know, you can't really get unless you in there with one of those guys.
No doubt.
And Mike and Chuck, I want to talk about like brand partnerships, because that's popular right now, collaborations when it comes to, you know, a lot of the hip hop artists, right? But I feel like, you know, you all like one of the first acts that I've seen doing a lot of brand partnerships, all independent. You know, you mentioned the Mountain Dew partnership, the Green Label. You had a partnership with NBA 2K. Your music was being played in the Nike commercial. Speak about how did those deals come about? You know, while you all was independent during that time frame.
I mean, you got to think about it as in the form of, you know, advertising runs the world. You know what I mean? Like, us being signed had no real effect on the fact that we had so much influence at that time, because social media was starting.
Right.
The high school kids want to dress like us. You don't think they're paying attention to what they're trying to sell high school kids. Exactly. So at that time, it was like it was easy for us to call our own play, because we weren't reaching out for something. We didn't have managers that were going out and getting us stuff. They were just fielding shit. Like,
I was just about to ask.
From PR to management to anything. Like, I really, you know, no disrespect, but for a lot of that, I know for a fact that they were just fielding shit. It was just like
picking up the phone.
Where should we go, or what was the better call? Because so many calls come in. When advertising feels like they can sell you, it's either a beautiful partnership or that shit could get weak as hell. Luckily for us, that shit became beautiful partnerships with people that were upstarts or certain companies that were like, oh no, they got it. Let's do shit. It wasn't even about money. It's like, you know, whether it be like a Gap commercial for the election or, you know, any of the things we did, it's like they knew what was up and we knew what was up. So it was easy to translate. You know what I mean? So things that came in, we saw the value in it. Like, I remember doing like this complex photo shoot with a whole bunch of different other people. And when I looked around, I was like, okay, this makes sense. Or like the Gap shit we did. I'm like, all right, this makes sense. The Rhapsody shit, I'm like, this makes sense. Because everything was adjacent to the music. Right. It wasn't like we was doing, you know, it wasn't like we was doing a Del Taco commercial. Like, I'm not selling fast food. I don't give a fuck. That has nothing to do with music.
Right.
You know, like, to each his own though. Like, nothing I'll say out my mouth is hate. It's just based off how me and him operate.
Right.
Nigga, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? When I put all my shit on the shelf, like, I kind of want a Michelin star with my shit. I'm not selling you no fast food. Like, I actually cook. Like, I have friends that are chefs. I learned like how the art of food works. You know what I mean? Like, but still, my food shit. When anybody say like, "Hey, why you ain't do nothing with your food?" That don't got shit to do with music.
Right.
I make music. I'm a producer. I didn't work 16, 17 years of my life to be really good at something. To wake up and like, oh no, I'm selling select strips now. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you build. I feel like that's how you maintain a brand. You know, it's not a, you know, it's not a race. It's a marathon. You know.
No, it's absolutely that. But like, you gotta understand the brand you are before you can help somebody else's brand out. You can't just, you know what I'm saying? Because you hot right. That's why a lot of people get burnt out. They realize how indispensable they are and how much they're not that important.
Talk about that though. Go talk about that, man. I want to go in. Let's go.
When the tide goes back out, and you realize like you was just on the tide end, like it's hard for you to process that. But it's also why like a whole bunch of industry people will be like, the industry's fake. Oh, this shit. No, the industry is as constant as the waves, bro. It's either violent or it's calm. You either in or you out. You know what I'm saying? Like you either surfing them bitches or you drowning. Right. It's not that the industry's fake. The industry is water. It's gonna do whatever the conditions is doing. So if you hot, it's gonna gravitate to you. It's gonna bring you in and take you the fuck out. But you know who don't complain about that type of shit? Surfers. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta understand where you working at. We knew, like for the reason when people be like, "Oh, what y'all break up? Why did y'all break up?"
You know that was just about to be my next question.
Because Rocky showed up. It wasn't nothing I got for them. Like we not even cussing on our shit. You know what I'm saying? We went from not cussing to niggas sipping lean. Like it was still fresh. Yeah. But it was like, I'm not about to act like I'm doing something I'm not, because the new niggas is here. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? We step him on the scene, we see Rocky out somewhere. Rocky like, bro, I wouldn't even be doing this shit without y'all. All right, that's what he translated his world. He like, oh, I'm doing what I'm exposed to. I'm gonna do it like the cool kids, but my way. So when I seen it, I'm like, go ahead, young dog. Like we gonna get up out. Let's get the fuck up out his way for a minute. Yeah. So we can keep what we built. Kids can have a moment with the cool kids, get to college, have a moment with Rocky and them, get out of college, have a moment with somebody else, you know what I'm saying? But we don't miscatalog ourselves because we didn't run and do no shit, you know what I'm saying? We ain't slow our shit down, we ain't chop and screw no shit, we ain't wear no black, we ain't like, you know what I'm saying, the whole fashion with the cross upside down.
Auto-tune.
It's just, we didn't do it, but we was listening to it, and we as fans was like, hey man, shit coming waves. It ain't nothing. It's nothing you could do about it. Now we in a place where we not playing that game. We exist. We got our own island. All of our shit is ours. We don't. If it's another nigga coming up that was hot after we been hot, do something about it. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, we gotta talk about that. I gotta stop you for a second, Chuck and Mike, because you guys had your own. But you guys have your own sound. But I would be lying if I said a lot of guys who have not came up after y'all, and I ain't gonna say no names, and tried to duplicate that sound and have become somewhat successful. So is it, they say, imitation is like a form of flattery. How do you guys feel about that? A lot of guys, coming behind y'all, kind of using certain elements of the cool kids.
I think the main part of that perspective, it always comes from, I think it's more visual than it is sound. I still have not really heard somebody sound like us. I've seen people try to look like us and take things from there, but as far as sound like us, I that was always the hard part for people. That nobody could really ever sound like us that much, but they could recreate a look and like a vibe and an image to it, as far as, because it's impossible to sound like us really, because we are both of the mind of old and new a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I came up, super backpack, like lyrical, spiritual miracle shit, like nigga cannabis type shit. Like I grew up rapping like hard and very, very lyrical, very intelligent, very crazy, patterns and cadences. Like, nigga, I used to sit on like raplyrics.com and like take people lyrics and break it down with a pen and a pencil. Like I came up from that type of like rap sport. Like rap was a sport like that to me.
Blood sport.
Chuck came up from the same type of environment and as well with production too. So it's like you can't, and then outside of that, we are also both futurists too. We also were both two dudes that look towards the future and want to do new shit and want to do shit that's like cutting edge and exciting and like visually stunning too. So you combine two dudes that's both technically skilled behind the scenes and they got the imagination and the creativity and the mind behind it too. And two heads are always better than one. It's hard for people to duplicate that sound. I haven't seen nobody really get get the sound like that. I've definitely seen like, you know, attempts at the visual and the look and the vibe of it.
Well, Mike, I guess I mean like more, how can I explain this? Like more like a vibe, you know, like there's certain artists, and I'm not gonna say no names. You know, I can tell you some names behind the scenes, and you can tell. I would love to chop it up with you guys behind the scenes, and you tell me what you think. I ain't about to put nobody on blast, but I'm just saying it's a certain type of vibe that the cool. Like when you hear the Cool Kids, you distinctively know if you guys are fucking reading the goddamn Chinese carry-out menu. You know what I'm saying? And put some music by that's the Cool Kids right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like your shit is that distinctive. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I meant by that.
Yeah, man. It got to that point though where there's a lot of correlations and a lot of repeated activities that I've seen happening over the years and stuff. And you know, that's just with anything that's influential. It's gonna happen that way. You know, it's gonna spread its wings, and other people gonna feel that influence too. And you know, hopefully do their own thing with it. You know, when it comes too close to home though, or it's like offensive, or you try to like push us out, Karma always do his thing, man. I've seen what happens to the people that have tried to, you know what I'm saying, take our shit in a malicious way and act like they don't know us and do that type of shit. It didn't go well for none of those people that tried that in that time period, man. So you can time is the best storyteller. You see what time has done to it, you know what I mean? I just try to like make it to where I already got the shit on lock so hard for the next 5 years that you always just taking my leftovers. You're taking you only catching up you only catching up with my scraps. You're only catching up with shit that I'm already done with. Like I done had her already. You can have that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like but I had to learn that though, because I used to give away too much too early and soon without protecting it. So people couldn't like take it from me and act like I didn't create it. I had to learn that the hard way a lot of the times, because I had to take it on the chin when I just seen like shit that I did. Like I should have did a collab with Levi's with skinny jeans or something. You know what I'm saying? Like who else was gonna do it? I'm not even gonna lie, man.
Hey, Mike, you influenced me, man, and there's not many people that influence me when it comes to fashion and culture. But I remember the day that you said, I don't know what interview, but you said, yo, from now on, I'm about to start wearing baggy shit.
Oh yeah,
And I was like, it's no way. It's no way he's gonna pull that off. There's no way niggas is gonna like start doing that. And I was like, nah, I reject that shit. And then when I start seeing you wear this shit, the different jerseys, the different sweat, I was like, yo, this shit is dope. So every now and then, man, like I'm consistent. Like people might see me wear this, like, wear some tight shit or some regular fitting shit. But occasionally, for every 5 outfits I wear that's regular or tight, I had like some baggy shit on. I got some, and I can't, and I'm not gonna lie, that shit came from when I seen you rock it. When I seen you rock that shit, I was like, this.
You see how it is, man? That's why I was like, I'm gonna give it out. I'm gonna give it out in the doses that I need to give it out in. I learned my lesson, man. Like that really, the first time that I saw like something that I did get taken from me, and then somebody make it, and somebody bigger than me like take the credit for it, that hurt me, because I was a teenager still, dog. Like I wasn't an adult yet. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I wasn't mature enough to really handle that yet. So that shit got to me. Like I was like, damn, this shit ain't fair, man. Like I'm doing this and that, and then like motherfuckers just take it and get famous and act like they created the thing, man. And it just taught me how to deliver myself from now on. And now I don't ever feel like that anymore, because I know how to like visually deliver this shit safely without me running the risk of losing my bag or somebody just snatching it from under the rug. It's kind of like street shit, man. Like you gotta really how to know when to show your card, or else motherfucker will come snatch it before it's ready. So I just try to stay in the mind of now, if I'm gonna come out with something, or if I'm going to present you with a style or something that I really like, I'm a fix it up, and I'm going to prepare it so I can sell it to you. I'm going to have it already ready to sell to you so I can move on to the next thing and y'all can have that now. I wasn't thinking like that when I was a little younger. I was just like excited to do the shit and have people say it was fresh. I just wanted somebody to be like, oh, that's fresh. But now I'm like, I was just like, oh yeah, just say it's fresh. I just want somebody to see it and say it's fresh. But now I'm like, wait a minute, that's cold as fuck. Let me get this ready. Let me get this ready to be a package and package this bitch up and then give it to them so I can move on and do something else while they buying that one. Cause that way it leaves room for me to keep creating and breadcrumbing y'all into the next shit. You know, I can't do that if every time I come out with something, somebody bigger just snatch it from me at the same time and then run off with it, and they don't know how to maintain it. So they let it die. And the things that I'm creating ain't supposed to die. Like people be taking the little pieces and shit and doing it like a quick fad, and then they let it die, and I'm like, damn, you took control of it just to, you know, go let it die in the corner like that, man. This is supposed to be something that could go on and has more arms and legs to it than you were, you know, presenting. But it should just come with just, you know, taking your bumps and bruises in this shit, man. Like this game didn't kick my ass in and out, left and right, and I get back up and I come back in the ring and I'm like, all right, square up again. I learned how to duck that bitch now. I learned how to bob and weave and hit the left jab and the cross. Now you ain't gonna hit me with the same thing again. And I think that's why me and him, we have a place in this game that is very unique, and it's very ours, that'll be here as long as we want to keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like we take our hits and we learn from them bitches, and then we coming back, and then we already the dudes in the first place, but we learning like Neo in the Matrix, man. Like I know karate now. Like I ain't know that shit at first, but I know that shit now, and I already had the power in the first place. So it's like I think that'll be the thing that keeps us, you know, excited at being in this game, and it keeps us, you know, willing to create more and create new things in this game, man. Because other than that, some people get, you know, take their bumps and bruises in this game and then knock them out cold and they don't come back, bro. Like,
I know
it's tough.
And it's some guys that came out around that time that was super hot. I'm talking about Flaming and AB. Chuck, I know y'all know. I'm not gonna say their names. These guys was all on magazines, and it seemed like they flamed out, and you guys are still here. So that brings me to my next question. I want to ask the both of you, and I really want to get your take on this, Chuck. You know, because I'm listening to Mike talking about, you know, how, you know, his mentality when it comes to like preserving the art and making sure that it's timeless, making sure it's not, you know, it's not duplicated. You know, do you guys, you know, do you guys have that same mentality when it comes to the music? Because you guys, you know, artists nowadays, it seems like they put out an album every month, every week. Guys are doing that crazy shit, but you guys, man, you got the people waiting. So just talk about that a little bit, like, you know, just as far as creating music.
I'm gonna give you the best simplified answer, and then just a heads up, I gotta slide in a minute because I gotta go out to eat with my parents.
No doubt. Yeah, we about to wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, just because just so I can give you the full answers for whatever's based next, like just so I can. You know what I mean? But the best way I can answer that is I'm not about to torture myself, and I ain't gonna say that that's everybody else's route, but if you listen to my records and you listen to how I'm producing, there's no fucking way I could do that.
Right.
Like, I couldn't even try. I don't even want to think about taking my routine of how I do this and how I break our ideas down, and then I take our stems and then I reproduce everything. Then I listen to them, and then I like add little small textures to make sure they lead into the next thing. Like it's like cooking to me. Right. There's certain meals that you can't cook faster. No matter what the fuck you think you want to do. Right. But if you cook it faster, then you got some pre-chopped onions. They'll never be the quality up. Yeah. It'll never be as good as cooking your own shit and chopping your own shit. You can get peeled garlic from the grocery store, but the real taste, like a real chef, they'll know that those pre-peeled garlics. There's something about when the shell is on it that gives flavor to it. If you like details and you appreciate the details you're giving to other people, and that's your art form, then there's no reason to get caught up in the, all right, we need 3-4 albums out a year. This ain't fast fashion. I ain't fashion over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got it. I really don't. Like, if you a fan of the cool kids, you gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
This ain't like that. I was a fan of Outkast. I had to wait. I was a fan of Duck Down. I had to wait. I was a fan of you know what I'm saying? I had to
Niggas
wait.
ain't give you more than an album in a year back then.
Like,
anyway.
I love that shit.
Even 2 years, like 2 years was coming. Like, bro, niggas ain't give you an album.
We grew up with Doom. Niggas was big Doom fan. You had to wait, bro. You might not even get him at the show. He was gonna give it to you how he wanted to.
Exactly.
And we had to respect the art form.
Yeah.
I'm the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You showed up. You show up over here. I'm gonna treat you right, but you're not gonna come in my kitchen and tell me how to cook.
No doubt.
To think about why you here. I ain't of service like that. And in order for me to keep, for your first question, like how we keep our mental, I stand on this business that you're here because you like it here. You like what I've given to you. I didn't cheat you. We didn't cheat you. We didn't give you no. We didn't say we was coming out of 3 albums of some shit we had in the tuck post COVID that we just decided to release. The deluxe that we about to give you ain't no just throwaways that just can go on the album. Like,
yeah, because I was just about to ask about that because it's both projects. Like the first one that y'all released earlier this year, that shit is like 21, 22 songs, something like that. Yeah, but then y'all just dropped another one, and that shit is like a double. So it's like we, for the fans, you know, for the record, this is brand new material.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because it sounds like it, but I wanted to go on record.
We started making it in 2018.
Okay.
Like it might be, you know, for example, like the Horizon Island beat. I was just talking to my homegirl. She had moved to UK, to the UK, but like I had wrote and made that beat, like at her crib. You know what I'm saying? Like 2018, just chilling by the pool, just like, all right, it's time to make some other shit. Took a couple little mushroom caps. All right, I got something good here. Yeah, we started it new. I'm never going to cheat the process because it doesn't pay you out as well as doing it the right. Only people that have done shit the right way have felt that karmic energy of you getting it back once you do it right. Like only the people.
You got some joints on here too, man.
Yes,
I mean, I'm looking at the track list, man. I'm like, man, my favorite joint is that Coming Over There. That's my on the one that y'all I love.
Coming Over There.
I love that shit. I didn't play that shit like 20 times. What's the name?
I appreciate it.
What Guap Dad 4000?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, I didn't play that shit to death. If I was still on that ringtone type shit, like from the mid, that would probably be like a ringtone of mine.
For real. Hey Chuck, I just want to talk about before you go, man. Is at the end of the track on Mother's Pot. You mentioned that you don't date no chick with dirty Air Force One.
Nigga, it be girls tagging me on those pictures with dirty Force videos being like, man, why your mans say that like that? Why your mans? I'm like, man, that's the most viral line I done heard all year.
Man.
Like,
no, that's hilarious. You gotta talk about that, Chuck. Yo, because
girl, your force is dirty.
Oh, man, I gotta be crying, man.
Yo, man. Yo, that's.
Yeah.
I want brothers. Hey, I want my brothers out there that if you put your fresh together, bro, you don't gotta accept the women not accepting mediocrity. You don't have to accept mediocrity.
Nah, yo.
Like,
the forces can't defend themselves.
they can't, man.
Hey, man, you stupid, man. Yo.
I didn't even say that. That was a fan that heard the first album and then sent me this voice note on Twitter. And I was just like, oh, I'm putting that on the second one.
Yeah, that shit is classic, dog.
Yeah, the forces can't defend it.
Real.
Man. Yeah, bro.
That's
like,
a trend that I'm like, what the hell y'all doing?
Think about it. Hey, if you see a girl with bad shoes, bro, it's
over.
What else bad?
Over.
It's over.
Exactly. What else is bad? My brother used to tell me that.
What else is bad? Breath, probably. Other things probably bad too.
Yeah,
that's real, man.
Don't take that risk.
To anybody that's ever been in my crib, you stepping into an immaculately pristine, clean place. I'm the only nigga I know with 7 toilet papers in the little load up roll to the side. All my towels clean, shorty. man, and I got fresh spring water and I got sparkling in my joint. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take your shoes off when you come to my house.
Oh, same here.
So when you take them off, are you proud of what's sitting at the front door?
No.
You know what I'm saying? I want you to be proud of yourself. I want the homies to know, like, the same way with the girls. If your man's shoes is not, if he got Team Jordans on and them bitches is laced real crazy.
Or Jordan mids, or them Jordan mids.
Leaning to the side.
We're not gonna completely hate. Bro, that's listen, this is a black podcast, I'm gonna speak on it. Ain't nobody ever black. Ain't nobody
talk about it.
On mids. Mids is actually fresh. Niggas, you're not gonna tell me what's fresh and what's not. Mids go. Them bitches actually go crazy over your jeans. Just because they wasn't, the first pair of the nigga
Air
ever
Force
wore
Ones?
on the court.
Yeah.
The first
I ain't never had no mids though. AB, you had a pair of
Air
mids?
Force One mids? Yeah.
I never had a pair of mids, but I like the SB mids. I've always been a fan of the SB dunk mids.
Jordan one
that was listen. As the historian,
the highs and the mids they be confused. I'm not sure which is which.
The first pair that man wore on the court was mids, G.
Yeah, right.
The high tops came later. The low tops came after that. We letting some nigga that, you know what I'm saying, he had a power chain and one of them little broken Lego parts try to tell you the fucking sneakers was squat. But didn't tell me what was out, bro. Come on, man.
I guess I'm not really feeling the color combination with the mids.
All them color combinations. Somebody at Jordan Brand gotta holler at me or get fired, bro. Y'all.
Yeah, I don't like the color combinations.
Hey, whoever that bitch, hey, them cheater print 11s. Need to get his cut off.
Yeah, them ain't it.
He need to go check credit card.
I feel like they damn near letting the employees at the factory just design it at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
y'all do what y'all want down at the factory and send it to us. We good.
Hey, if you get people fired because my man Blue, he got mids, bro. Everybody had them bitches.
Oh, his is hard.
It wasn't fresh. You give some good colors, or you let a nigga that knows what he doing do something. You know what I'm saying? Look how my man Joe Fresh good got New Balance going nuts.
You got it going nuts. Joe Fresh just got the reset.
Hold on, y'all gotta chill with the new DC. We started that New Balance shit. Yo.
No, I'm talking. We not saying that you didn't. I got cousins from DC and Boston.
Yeah, that's our shit. That's our shit. We like New Balance heavy.
It wasn't no pairs that was going for $3K to my man.
It wasn't.
That's true.
I was talking to.
All I'm saying is when you let people that know what the fuck Joe very versed in what DC culture was and how important that is. He didn't remove that from his thought process.
I gotta give it to him.
Yeah, man.
He knew what DC niggas would gravitate to because y'all control the narrative on New Balances. On Saucony, on Timberlands.
Thank
I was
you.
outside.
I'm glad you said that.
Phone posits, y'all niggas got it.
I'm glad you and which brings me to I got throw some controversy in here real quick before we get out of here. I remember Mike, you had a beef with Wale, man. What was that, man? Y'all good now? What was that all about, man?
Man, I love Wale, man.
You know that's the home team right there, man.
Hey, Mike, was it over anime? Was it over the anime?
Wale. Yeah, I had to gatekeep him over the anime, man. I felt like he wasn't really about it. He wasn't about the anime yet, man. I had to check his card.
You went on him, man.
You know what I'm saying? I had to check his anime card. And see if he was really about it, man. But I fucking love Wale, man.
That's good, man. I had to throw some tough questions.
I love that man.
No, that nigga is the shit, bro. I had to pull his nerd card though, because I'm a real life nerd. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make sure his nerd card was valid before he came into the anime realm talking that anime shit. You know what I mean?
Nah, he bought that anime life. He definitely bought that anime.
Nah, he really bought it, man. And we had a show with him not too long after that Twitter beef. And then he was in Chicago. He came to Chicago and shit. And then we was just talking about it, shook up with him about it and shit, man. It was all love, man. I just had to check his nerd card real quick and make sure he was really about that anime shit. You feel me?
But look, I got what?
How you gonna beef over anime though in the first place? How you gonna beef over cartoons, nigga?
Oh shit, man!
Hey, that was so hilarious. I remember seeing that Twitter like in real time, that tweet, dog. And that shit,
I didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie.
That shit was hilarious, bro. That was hilarious.
I didn't fuck with Mikey for about a month, man. I didn't.
I
didn't like you, man. I didn't like him. Wale is like, I'll do. So I took it personal. The fact that you said something about him, it was like you were saying something because I'm into anime too. So it's like, yeah, kind of, but we good. Hey, I'm glad everything good. And,
yeah. No, we squashed it since then. I put him on some animes to watch, gave him some recommendations and shit.
That's beautiful.
He gave me some reviews of what he thought and shit, man. And I still be giving him shit to this day, man. I let him know some new animes when they drop. So I just had to check his nerd card though, make sure.
Yeah, we got to talk about because I'm into that anime too. We go. If we get another interview, we want to go into that. But I got one more question I want to talk about, man, before we get up out of here. I know, Chuck, you got to go. The whole, we just seen the Oscars, the whole Will Smith shit, Jada Pinkett, man. What is y'all take on that, man? With the Chris Rock getting the shit slapped out of him, man. What's y'all take?
A lot of think pieces out there. Man. My thought is very, very quick and very succinct. It's like all four of us on this phone right now. We know that this could have been one of maybe three situations going on here, man. One situation that I think is probably the most far-fetched. This the first one is the most far-fetched. Is I think that all right, so bro is being abused by his girl, and she got that worm in his head, and he can't make his own decisions.
We here. Go ahead.
That's one right here. But I'm about to give us all the ones that we as niggas on this phone all have seen in life. It could be one of any of these outcomes. Could be that one. The other one is it could be like you ever been around a bully nigga, right? Outside, y'all playing basketball or something, and he in a bad mood, right? It don't matter who do it, but if whoever cracked the joke, he don't want to get roasted. He don't want to get no joke that day. He don't want that shit. And no matter if it's an innocent joke or not, whoever said that shit, he going to knocking their ass out. And you're like, damn. It's unfair. It's unfair. Right. Be you, but you was the unlucky victim of the wrath of the day, man. Like that nigga was already mad, and you had to take that L, man. And that's the third one is I guess what the people that are siding with Chris Rock are probably more in agreement with is that he's just an asshole. You know what I'm saying? He's just an asshole and slap dude. But it's so many varieties of how this could have all turned out, because you seen how niggas react at different points in time and different environments. And no matter what though, it's like, hey, he slapped his ass. He didn't shoot him and kill him. He didn't burn his house down or hurt his kids, nigga. Like he'd be all
right. It's the Oscars though, man.
Good, man.
Oscars.
But look.
Man.
Hey, look, that's what I'm gonna say. Nigga, fuck the Oscars. Second of all, that shit was fake as hell. Third of all, now I'm gonna give you three scenarios how he did. First of all, that shit is fake as hell, and Chris Rock is shooting one of them Joaquin Phoenix ass realism things where he like gets somebody to do something that's in real time, and it's such big cinema that when people look at it in like 3 years, they be like, damn, that was fake. Yeah, that's worth buying a ticket now. Broke comedy tickets prices went from $52 to
like $400. Yeah, some crazy.
Yes, it went crazy.
Chris Rock.
Who you think we are?
Sold out.
First of all,
I forgot about that, man.
If anybody in here slapped the fire out of nigga before, it don't look like that. It's not that poetic. You don't get that clean ass hand with the other hand sitting up, and somebody knew exactly what happened, bro.
And then he turned his back, though. Yes,
he turned his back, bro.
What got me was, if you look close, Chris Rock, he presented his face. It was his arms behind his back.
I'm saying all different types of angles. That's a new one. I gotta check that one out.
He was smiling, and then he presented his face like this, and he gave it to him clean a little bit.
Oh, man. They got us again. God damn it, man. They got us again.
Damn, Will Smith.
I've been bamboozled.
They knew that they were selling this to the crowd, right? And when Will's, it wasn't the slap that we talking about. Here's number 4. We talking about what bro said when he got to the seat. Like when he stood, if he would have just slapped,
that's what sold it to me. That's what sold it to me. The yelling.
If he would have slapped him and sat down, it would have just been a joke. It would have just been over.
Yeah.
It was the whole selling it in front of his wife to keep my wife's name out of my fucking mouth.
But that's the thing. That's why I find it kind of hard to believe.
I always been light in this department, bro. I ain't no girl gonna get me to jump up out my pants for nothing. I don't give a fuck. Like, I gotta live the rest of this life, regardless if you gonna be here or not. It's gonna be a couple more of you if you don't want to be here. So chill, I'm gonna chill out. Yeah. So to be that passionate, you know what I'm saying, over something that was so
benign,
it had to be fake, or it had to be deeper than that. It had to be like, I
think it could be deeper too.
Bill told bro, like, listen, the one thing you gonna do, I know you about to tell some jokes, bro. We sitting in the front, nigga. Leave shorty head off this. She probably tried a wig on. She probably tried some other shit. Bro could have been like, nah, that ain't gonna work, baby. We probably just gonna go bald headed tonight.
Let's just make
he
this
was
move.
like, are you sure? I don't know if I want to go.
Well, don't sit up front then, shit. Don't sit up front.
Don't matter. Nigga about to win an Oscar. They know he about to win. He know he about to win. They tell you he about to win.
They know he about to win.
Hey, but Chuck, they hire comedians to roast niggas. It don't matter. They've been doing that shit for years.
I'm telling you the scenario, the last scenario. Them niggas been so cool that he walked up to bro and was like, look, I know this sound crazy, but shorty off a hot one. Like, if you see her in the front, bro, just leave her head alone, nigga. Like, I gotta deal with this later. I could tell. I got friends that's comedians all over the place. I show up with a new bitch, and they get to flaming her for something. I'm laughing with them because I ain't gonna take off on you, right? But if I let them know, like, hey, shorty not even like that. She got learning disability. Like, don't say nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let this one slide. And the first joke out your mouth is what I told you not to do.
It's a wrap.
Slapped you, I did you a favor because I should have knocked your jaw off your face.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
2 different than 3.
Hey, well, look, man. If any of those, if any of those, those ideas is relative to what happened, I can get it. But let's just remove that. If they never had those conversations, I'm sorry, man. I think the joke was benign. I think it was light.
It was
I've been to a comedy show.
It wasn't a joke.
What's the boy from Chicago, Corey Holcomb, and he was talking about my girl. He was talking about her breasts, but it was a light joke. It wasn't nothing there. And she walked out. She ran out. My girl ran out.
It wasn't the joke. I don't think it was the joke for Chris Rock that got him slapped like that. It wasn't the actual content of the joke. It was, if this nigga, he got to go home with that, and it's probably gonna be a fucking problem, bro. She probably already own one. She might be all a little insecure about that.
Have you ever had a girl off
girls is not like us like that, man.
Exactly. And knowing that Jada and Chris Rock already had problems before back in 2016
all the time.
Yeah, so they already had problems.
He stayed roasting.
Yo, but hold on.
Exactly.
But they did Madagascar like 1 and 2 together. So what?
Nigga, I'll make $1 million with you.
Yeah, I make $1 million with a nigga who stole from me. If he stole, I'll slap your ass. But I'm gonna make this movie with you because we gonna get this million. You stupid little bitch.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
And knowing that he did it on a live audience in front of everyone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
no, man. Last thing I'm gonna say, man. Like
WWL slap.
Last thing I'll say about it is if it was real, if it wasn't fake, I could understand if this was gonna turn into something where they go home and it's gonna be a bunch of fucking drama, or she's or maybe she is actually really insecure about this shit and gonna hurt her feelings and come home and talk to me about it all night. Like, no, sometimes you gotta go up there and just get this shit over with and end it so you can go
I don't know
home
if I'm gonna hit him, though. I might curse the nigga out, though.
Man, I done been out with my girl, and I'd have been in a position where it's like, man, I ain't popping off or nothing, but like, if somebody start acting too crazy, I'm going to have to take the drastic decision, and I'm gonna have to swing and knock your ass out, because if I don't, the end results later will be much worse. Like,
agree.
If I let you say this man really actually did like disrespect the shit out of my girl real crazy.
But listen what you just said. You said disrespect. Like, I don't think like that was benign. That was low.
I mean, but you don't know how she feels. You know how she feels about that. You know how
she went on TikTok talking about I like my bald head, and anybody got a problem with it, I don't care what you
that
think.
was what she said on TikTok.
That's what you say on TikTok.
Yeah,
that's what you say on TikTok. But when she probably
go home,
when she probably go home with Will, that she probably like Jada's a bad bitch, bro. Like you got to think like she probably is feeling insecure about this new thing that's going on with her a little bit. Like as confident as she is, she's probably a little insecure about it. And
I want to hear no more LeBron James hairline jokes. No more LeBron James hairline jokes. No more.
So it's like, man, when you got a black woman, like sometimes it's easier to you beat a nigga ass and go to jail rather than go home and then everybody in your friend and family circle is like, you let her get disrespected like that.
Exactly.
Nigga, fuck is wrong with you? Now you ruined your life in front of your family and friends.
That's
which
a good point, dog. Yo, for real, like, that's a good point.
I ain't doing that.
Yeah, because we black. Bro, we black, we understand, bro. Like, listen, man. You got the you do 3 days, do the weekend, and then you get out. You're gonna have a hot plate.
Hot plate. Niggas gonna have a glass of wine for you. Hot plate. The kids is like, hey daddy, what's up, daddy? But you let mama get disrespected and ain't do shit, and that nigga walked off laughing. Then everybody giving you the side eye at the crib. Niggas ain't talking to you. Your plate in the microwave. Your plate ain't even hot no more. They left your plate on the counter. Like
I hope she put it down. I hope she put it down on my nigga.
Yeah, man. That's one thing. That's one thing I found out a long time ago. You can't joke about a black woman hair like that. Especially with what she's going through with her condition.
Yeah, like, it's a lot of stake.
Man, I've been balding for 7 years. Why you think I wear a hat, man? Come on.
Yo, dog. My
sister been roasting my hairline for like 8 years, man.
Hey, my sister was finna whoop my auntie ass when she made a remark about her daughter's hair. She was finna jump over that chair, dog. She didn't care if it was a family reunion or nothing, dog. So I was like,
look. Hey, well, look, fellas, man, it's late, man. I really appreciate having you guys on the Bridging the Generation podcast platform, man. Before we get out of here, you guys got anything coming out next, man? I know you guys talk about just give the fans where they can find you on social media and let them know about these last two projects, the names of it before we get up out of here.
First of all, you want to catch us at coolxkids.com. coolxkids.com. That's where we got all the music, all our merchandise. We got fire ass clothing designs coming out. We got some already up there from the album. We got action figures, Hot Wheels, toys, and crazy shit that we dropping right now, man. coolxkids.com is where you want to go to find all the vinyl and all the cool merch shit, man. And also on Twitter, it's at coolxkids. You can find us on there. Instagram, same thing, at coolxkids. I'm Sir Mike on Instagram and Sir Michael Rocks on Twitter. I don't do my TikTok as much as I should, so I'm not going to even plug that right now until I start putting some content on that bitch.
No doubt. Hey, and those projects, man, you guys released two projects this year. I want y'all to plug those before we get up out of here as well.
Yup, Baby Oil Staircase and Chill Out. Those are our episodes 2 and 3 of Before Shit Got Weird. Those just came out. That's a double disc album. First is from me, the second one is from Chuck, and then we got Before Shit Got Weird, episode 1, which is the main album that y'all just heard, man. Everything is it's out there. This is an ongoing and growing series too, man. So don't think this the end of the Before Shit Got Weird series, man. We got some plans for it, man, and I think it's gonna be a universe that's gonna keep on evolving. As long as shit keep being weird out here, then like I'm gonna keep on dropping. We gonna keep on dropping that shit, man. Like, make shit not weird no more, and then we'll switch it up. But if shit's still weird, then we gonna keep on delivering y'all the goods, man.
No doubt. Well, look, it was a pleasure having you guys on the platform. We got Sir Michael Rock. We got Chuck English, man, the legendary Cool Kids, man. Hey, keep doing what y'all doing and keep killing shit, man. I'm Malak Arif. I got my boy AB. We signing out. Y'all have a good night.
Peace. All right, man. Peace.
All right.